In a world teetering on the edge, the long, simmering shadow war between Iran and Israel threatens to erupt into a full-scale conflict, a flashpoint that could ignite the entire Middle East. As tensions escalate, the question isn't just if they will fight, but who else will be drawn into the fray. From global superpowers to regional militias, the battle lines are being drawn. Here are the top 5 countries and groups that could join an Iran-Israel war, potentially reshaping the geopolitical landscape forever. First, the United States. A staunch ally of Israel, Washington's involvement seems almost inevitable. The White House has repeatedly affirmed its ironclad commitment to Israel's security. This promise is backed by the formidable presence of American aircraft carriers already patrolling the strategic waters of the Middle East. Should a major conflict break out, expect the deployment of America's advanced military technology and highly trained soldiers, not just to defend Israel, but also to protect crucial U.S. interests and personnel stationed across the region. The U.S. role could range from direct military strikes and logistical support to providing critical intelligence and defensive systems like the Iron Dome. Next, we turn to Russia. With deep-rooted strategic interests in the Middle East, particularly its alliance with Syria and growing ties with Iran, Moscow is a critical player. The Kremlin's primary goal would be to secure its influence and military assets, including its naval base in Tartus, Syria. While direct confrontation with Israel or the U.S. is a high-risk scenario Russia would likely seek to avoid, its involvement could take other forms. Moscow might supply advanced weaponry to Iran or its allies, use its diplomatic power at the UN to shield them, or deploy its own air and naval forces to the region as a deterrent, further complicating an already volatile situation. Closer to the immediate front, Lebanon's Hezbollah would almost certainly be a key combatant. As Iran's most powerful proxy, the heavily armed group positioned on Israel's northern border has long been preparing for this very scenario. Possessing an arsenal of tens of thousands of rockets and missiles, Hezbollah militants could open a devastating second front against Israel. From their mountainous strongholds, they could launch coordinated attacks aimed at overwhelming Israel's defenses and striking deep into its territory, turning northern Israel into a major battlefield and significantly escalating the scope of the conflict. Further south, Yemen's Houthi movement has already demonstrated its willingness and capability to strike. Aligned with Iran, the Houthis have leveraged their strategic position to disrupt one of the world's most vital shipping lanes in the Red Sea. In the event of a wider war, they would likely intensify their attacks, using a growing arsenal of long-range missiles and attack drones to target not only commercial shipping, but also southern Israel. These actions would aim to stretch Israel's air defenses thin and impose a significant economic cost on Israel and its international partners, expanding the conflict's geographic reach far beyond the immediate Levant. Finally, Syria remains a crucial, albeit fractured, arena. For years, its territory has been a battleground for proxy conflicts, with Iranian-backed militias operating freely and Israel conducting regular airstrikes against them. If a major war erupts, Syria would instantly become a primary front. President Bashar al-Assad's government, heavily reliant on both Iran and Russia, would likely facilitate a greater flow of fighters and weapons through its territory. The country would serve as a launch pad for attacks against Israel, transforming its war-torn landscape into an even more intense theater of operations and drawing in all the powers vested in its future. As the world map pulses with these potential conflict zones, a split screen of global leaders underscores the gravity of the decisions they face. A full-blown war between Iran and Israel would not be a contained affair. It would be a regional cataclysm with global consequences, drawing in a complex web of allies, proxies, and superpowers. While a fragile hope for peace remains, symbolized by a lone dove flying over a fractured map, the path to de-escalation is narrow and fraught with peril. The world watches, holding its breath, as the Middle East stands on a knife's edge.